Hello, my dear students. Welcome back to my channel. Today, in this video, we are going to learn Class 9 English chapter A Dream of Flight, written by K.S. Raman. So, let's start this chapter. But before that, students, if you're viewing my video for the first time, do subscribe my channel and hit the bell icon so that you get the notifications of all upcoming videos. Do watch the video till end, and if you like it, hit the like button and share with your friends. And also, students, do visit the description box because the links of the important books for your exam preparations have been provided for every subject or every different subjects, which has topic wise, chapter wise question answers. You have model question papers. You have many books which are very important for your examination preparations. So do visit the description box. Along with that, if you are interested in the books related to the flight and the aeroplanes, how it started, how it developed, and then the autobiography and biography of the Wright brothers. Of all the links of all those books are provided in the description box, so do visit it once. So let's start with the chapter here. Here we see that the author K.S. Raman, he says his experience, what had happened and how does he write this chapter, what has he written about the dream of the flight. So engrossed in Charles H. Gibbs Smith's books, The Invention of the Aeroplane 1799 to 1909, I realized it was evening only when my friend came in. So here the author says that he was so much engrossed, so much he was so much in the book of Charles H. Gibbs Smith. He was reading this person's book. The name of the book was The Invention of the Aeroplane from 1799 to 1909. So whatever happened for the invention of aeroplane, whatever trials they did, whatever tried they were making, like to make the machines to fly there. Before that, we did not have any aeroplane. So this person, Charles H. Gibbs Smith, he is the author of this book, The Invention of Aeroplane. So our author, K.S. Raman, he was reading this book and he realized only in the evening when his friend came in that it's evening time now. Like he was so much engrossed, he was so much interested in that book that he did not realize what is the time and what's happening. He was just reading this book and reading and reading. I had glimpsed this book amidst a heap of leather-bound volumes in an old bookshop 2 days ago. From where did he got this book? He got this book from a heap of leather-bound volumes in an old bookshop. From an old bookshop 2 days ago, he got a glimpse of the book. Like he just happened to see the book in the heap of the books, like as you have in the old bookshop, like heap of books which are lying over there one upon the other. So he just had a glimpse on this book and he took it. He bought it 2 days ago, and from since then he's just reading and reading, and he is not aware of what is happening. He's not realizing anything until his friend come in the evening, and then he comes to know, realizes that it's evening now. Now, the title had aroused my curiosity. I bought it and started reading as soon as I reached home. So, see how curious he was. Only when, with the glimpse of the book, he saw the book's name, he got it, he took it. The curiosity inside him was so much that as soon as he reached home, he started studying it. He started reading it, and the book explained in the great detail man's eternal longing and hope that led to innumerable trials, most of which ended as disasters and subsequent experimentation arising from various inventions used for flight before advent of aeroplane as we know of it today. So what exactly was in this book that he was so much curious? So he says that this book, which I got it explained in the great detail the man's longing and hope, like the man's willingness and the hope and innumerable trials and many trials and many you can say he had his experimentation which he has done for getting a machine which could fly in the sky, and most of which ended as disasters, like it was a failure, and subsequent experimentation was going on, happening one after the other. Experimentation was just going on and on, arising from various inventions used for flight. Like one was failed, the other invention was done, other experimentation was done, and the other was done. So like this for flight, many inventions was done subsequently before the advent of aeroplane, before we got the word aeroplane. Okay. So as of we know now, then I found the book so absorbing that even I forgot about my regular evening walk. Now, the author is saying that he was so much absorbed in this book, he was so much engrossed in this book that even he forgot about his regular evening walk. His daily routine he had forgotten, he was just deep absorbed in the book that he was just reading and reading. He was so much interested in this. Now, my friend, who is an avid aviation enthusiast, glanced at the book and told me that he too would like to read it later. Then one of his friend who came and that day in the evening, and now he is coming here for his evening walk. Even he is an aviation enthusiast. Even he is interested in this field. So he just had a glance of the book and he told him that even I would like to read this book later once you are finished, so you can hand it over to me. When he was sure that I would not budge out of my chair, my friend asked me to be up and ready at 6 o'clock sharp next morning and departed. So this friend he had come here to guess Raman, the narrator, the author, for him to go along with him for the evening walk. But this author, he saw that he is so much interested that the author is not going to get up out of the chair. So his friend asked him to get up early in the morning at 6 o'clock sharp, and then he will go for walk. And like that, the friend departed from there. He moved away from there. Now, reading almost non-stop, he was kept on reading till the past midnight, and then finally, when he finished the book, and that time only he kept it, he put it down, and then he switched off the light and dropped off exhausted on the book on the bed. So, like continuously, he was reading the whole book, and until it finished, he did not stop. And at last, when it's finished, he finished the book. He was completely exhausted, and with the events from the book so fresh in my memory. Gradually, as I drifted off to sleep, I could almost feel the tension and excitement when some incidents started floating right in front of my eyes. So he was so interestingly and carefully reading the experimentations and the inventions which were written in the book that when he went to sleep, all the incidents were fresh in his memory, and he could feel almost everything, the tensions, the excitement, everything that it started floating right in front of his eyes in his dreams. Tensions because it had failed to fly, and excitement because he was curious for the next other invention which was going to come. So, like this, he tries to explain his dream in the form of dream. Whatever he has read in the book, the trials and the disasters and subsequent experimentation which had happened with the flight, whatever he has read throughout the years, he is just saying as in the form of his dream because they are so fresh in his mind that he sees everything in front of his eyes. Okay, so let's see his dream. What were the incidents and how did the man started to do the trials for the flight? So it goes beyond to 1496 AD. So from atop a soaring tower stands a man with the bat-like wings made from a wood and cloth over the bird's feathers. The air wings with encouraging shouts from a big crowd gathered far down and ruffles the feathers on his cloth. So first aeroplane or first flight which the man started trying it was in 1496, in the year 1496. And here the man he stood at the soaring tower, top tall tower. He went there. He had a bat like wings, which was made of some wood and cloth, and it was made like a bird's feathers. And below were the people who were standing, and they were just making the shouts, and the voice were just heard. And he was known as the birdman, the one who wanted to fly with his wings like a bird. The birdman flexes his shoulders and beating his arm fast, so as if the bird starts flapping their feathers and starts flying. In the similar manner, this man who had these feathers and the wings made out of wood and cloth started flapping his wings, and he started beating his shoulders, and he jumps down suddenly from the tower so that he could fly with that wings. But what in heaven's name is happening there? Instead of flying free in the sky like a bird, the man is tumbling down inverted and totally out of control. Oh, so what happened here? It was not a successful one. The man, instead of flying in the sky like a bird, he started tumbling down in an inverted form. He was totally out of control. And as the crowd scattered hastily, he falls in their midst in a tangled heap of cloth and feathers, and the shrill wails of women pierce the sky. So what happened as the crowd were down? They were shouting, they were looking at this man, and they started scattering and screaming and yelling and moving here and there when they saw that this man is not in a control and he's just falling down without any grip without flying upwards. So then he just fall down in the middle of that crowd in a tangled heap of clothes. He had tangled himself with the clothes and feathers. He got stuck in it, and the shrill wails of women pierced the sky. Means the women there, they started shouting and crying, and the voice was just piercing in the sky. Another adventurer who wanted to fly like a bird has lost his life. So he had lost his life. Ultimately, he jumped and without any control, and he was just tangled up with the cloth and the feathers. So he just fell down and lost his life. So this was a tension which was coming in the minds of K.S. Raman when he was dreaming. Okay, so this was the first incident, first try, which was failed. So now let's say after 3 centuries something again they had tried, and this was in the town of Enone in France. Hundreds of people are gathered in the market square. Flames leap high from a huge pile of burning wood in the middle of square. So this was like a balloon, you can say hot air balloon. So this was a trial which was done in 1783 in France. And again, the people were gathered in the market, and there was a huge pile of burning wood in the middle of this, and it was something to fly. Now, it was held by thick ropes all around. On the top of the fire is a mammoth globular fabric envelope with its bottom open and decorated with colorful motifs. So you can see in the picture how it was. It's like similar to hot air balloon. And as the sphere fills with hot air and heaves from side to side, four persons cut off the ropes. The ropes which were tied, they were cut off, and the crowd watched open-mouthed as the spherical balloon started flying upwards and drifted across the sky. So this was a bit successful. It started flying, and a sheep, a hen, and a duck placed in the basket of the balloon became the first air passengers. So instead of any person here, animals were kept in it, and they made the first flight. They were the first air passengers in this hot air balloon, which we say today, but it was something global fabric envelope kind of thing which was made, and it was uh, just flown in the market square. Okay, so this was done in 1783. It brought excitement in the minds of author also, and it was a bit successful one. So next, then in the 1853, a boat-shaped contraption, means the machine with wheels at the bottom having a big wing shape like the hood of snake, stands atop a small hill. So again, this machine, it was standing atop the small hill, and there were four triangular surfaces in the form of a cross are at the back supported by the wooden frame. So you can see there's something it is behind the surface which is supporting it. Then Sir George Kelly puts his carriage chauffeur inside and gives a big push. Like he's keeping his machine as some stove kind of machine inside it, and he gives a big push from the top of the hill, and the vehicle starts rolling on its wheel and rushes towards the valley below. So it's a sliding kind of hill. So obviously, with the help of the wheels, the craft it started moving towards the down part of the valley. But as it gathers speed, this weird craft leaves the ground, floating in the air. It touches down on other side of the valley. So it just floated in the air for some time, and it touches down on the other side of the valley. Now man has at last devised a contraption with which he could launch himself from a hill and glide down the ground. So at least they could make a small flight, small you can say a flight from above the hill to the other side of the valley. He could fly from the hill and glide down again to the ground. So this was a small success again in 1853 in the field of aeronautics, or you can say in the field of aeroplanes. Okay. So next trial was done in 1891 when Otto Lilienthal lifts a strange craft built from wood and fabric and brings it out of a shed built atop a big hill. Again, he has built some wood and fabrics. With that, he has made a shed, and he brings that shed, the wings at the top of the hill. It was comprising of 6 meter long bat-like wings on the top of one another. Okay, it was like a bat's wings. Then it had horizontal and vertical surface behind. This craft has a ring-shaped frame between the wings. It was a ring-shaped frame which was there in the between, and there In between, Lilienthal steps inside the frame and with his arms supporting the ring, he runs forward. As you see, they have this kind of for adventurous sports. You use this. You just go in the frame, you hold it, and you just run and you start flying. So this kind of craft was made. And Lilienthal, he steps inside, he holds his arms, he supports the ring, and then he runs forward. And then as soon as he moves few steps forward, he sees that the craft has started floating in the air and hanging beneath Lilienthal glides for a long distance and touches down at the bottom of the hill. So he covers some long distance and then again he touches down at the bottom of the hill. So similarly, even this was a kind of successful in the field of craft, and so it was in 1891 that Lilienthal had done this. Okay, and the next one is in 1903. Huge mounds of sand abound all round in Kitty Hawk Dunes in North Carolina. So this was tried in North Carolina. A two-winged machine stands on the long wooden rafter. There was a long wooden rafter wherein this machine was standing, and Orwell Wright lies prone in the middle over the bottom wing. So Wright, he was in the bottom wing, and small internal combustion engine by his side turns a pair of two-bladed paddle wheels through long bicycle chains. So like you have pedals and wheels in the bicycle in the similar manner, it was something like that. And they had like a bicycle chains, and Orville Wright was in that. And as the engine growls, Wilbur Wright, who was outside, he frees the rope holding the machine. He had tied the machine. Now, the another brother, Wilbur Wright, he frees the holding of that machine. He cuts the rope and he surges it forward, helps him to move forward. Moving about 12 meters per second, the machine suddenly lifts up and behold. Now, the machine suddenly lifts up and it started moving upwards after the rope was cut and the machine was started. Now it is flying in the air. The piercing sound of the alarm clocks put a full stop to my dreams. As soon as the plane started flying in the air, the author was also so happy. Oh, it started flying in the air. My dream has come true. But suddenly, the sound of alarm clock puts off a full stop to his dreams of flights, and bring back to his reality that get up it's morning, and his friend has arrived on dot 6 in the morning who wanted to take him straight to a airfield outside the city to have more views on this aircraft. He has just read it and he became so curious about it that he started seeing the dreams of it and everything. So now his friend who was in aviation, he wanted him to take him to airfield to our author, like he should take our author to an airfield and he should see the live aeroplanes over there. So this is how his he came out of his dream and he went to the airfield and would have seen many of the aircrafts there with the help of his friend. So here very beautifully our author has narrated or described his dreams and the incidents and the trials which had been done from many years in the hunt of finding this aeroplane, in the advent of aeroplanes. So at last, with the help of Wright brothers, we were able to have the so-called aeroplanes today. So today we could see many different types of aeroplanes which are used for carrying of passengers and loads and luggages, wherein we can travel many long distance within a short duration. Okay, so all this is with the passage of time we have been developed and many modernization had been made, and we have so many kinds of different flights today. So this was about the lesson, students. I hope you would have understood the chapter and you liked the lesson, you liked the video, and if you liked it, do hit the like button and share and subscribe this video, and also the channel and visit the description box. Do not forget to visit the description box because there may be some important thing which you will be missing out. So we'll be back soon with more such videos. Till then, stay safe and take care. Thank you.